Hey y'all. Okay, I'm gonna try this again because it did not work the first time. So hope you guys are well. Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm answering your Disney questions today. Things that have come in through both YouTube comments as well as emails and Instagram DMs. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna take this off because it's driving me batty. So first question that I wanted to answer for you guys. I get the question a lot about Disney Vacation Club, and I do have a Disney Vacation Club points rental video. When I get off of here, I will link it in the cards for those of you guys watching the replay. But a main question that I get about renting Disney Vacation Club points is, well, the question says, can you clarify the reservation process and what you do and don't get by renting Disney Vacation Club points? I think the person means like the perks that you get when you rent DVC. So the video that I have will explain to you how to rent the points. But when you actually do rent Disney Vacation Club points, you are given a reservation just like any other normal Disney hotel reservation. So the person that you're renting the Vacation Club points from makes the reservation in your name. So once they have the reservation made, they will send you directly the confirmation number, and it will say your name on it. And then once you have that confirmation number, you can go into your My Disney experience, and then you can go ahead and link your reservation to your Magic Band so you can make your fast passes, you can make your dining reservations, you can do all the things just like a normal Disney guest would. So hopefully that answers your question. You do have access to Disney's Magical Express if you need that service. You also will be able to, if you have a car and you're renting Disney Vacation Club points, you can park at that hotel for free. That was something that was clarified for me because before they were like, no, you have to pay to park just like any other person like staying at the boardwalk. But since you're staying DVC, renting DVC points, you do get to park if you have a car for free. So that's something else to remember. Is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I have a question here. Let me see. Hello, Tareen. Hello. What are some of your must-dos for a 5-year-old's first Disney trip? Not the last. Oh, good. You just bought DVC. Yay. It will be his birthday, and he's a massive Pixar fan. Awesome. So it depends on when it is. So I would definitely recommend going over to Hollywood Studios. That is like the Pixar place. For lack of a better term, than Pixar Land. There is a fair amount of construction going on over there, but Toy Story Land is open and ready to go. If he's tall enough, the Slinky Dog coaster would be a really good choice because it's a very family-friendly coaster from what I've seen. I actually haven't been able to ride that yet. We haven't been over there when Toy Story Land has been open, but that would be my #1 recommendation. Also, I personally love the Magic Kingdom, and there are so many rides at Magic Kingdom that are great for young kids. So that would be my #1 and 2 things. Check out Hollywood Studios if you're going. If he happens to like Star Wars, that will be opening up later this year also. So that might be a good option, but definitely Magic Kingdom for sure. The rides that are in the Fantasyland area typically be like, they're all kind of like shorter kid friendly. And so I would definitely recommend checking those out. Okay, so the next question that I've gotten is, what hotel has been the best you've stayed in and which has been the worst? This is a tough question. So the best hotel thus far that I have stayed in has been the Boardwalk. For us, we loved the Boardwalk because we love the location. We love being able to go into the back side of Epcot or the front side of Hollywood Studios by either walking or taking the boat. We love the little friendship boats. They're just super fun. Plus, the Boardwalk is a Disney Vacation Club property, so you can rent points to stay there for very inexpensively. Like we had one year a few years ago, we were able to get a room at the Boardwalk renting Disney Vacation Club points for $120 a night. It's kind of crazy, right? It was an off season, it was September, but we were able to get a really good point rental deal, and it worked out great. The worst hotel thus far, it's not a bad hotel. We've actually not had a bad Disney hotel experience. But I would say the worst of them thus far has been one stay that we had at Pop Century. We've stayed at Pop Century a couple times. But one of the years that we stayed at Pop Century, we actually had one of those really large palmetto bugs get into our room. Hi, Kathy, how are you? So the really large palmetto bugs, they look like large cockroaches. So we had one of those in our room, which was kind of, ew. And then also also around the grounds of Pop Century, it just had this off, musty, weird odor like everywhere that we went. And I don't know what was happening, but so I guess it would be that. Yeah, so that would be mine. Okay. Hi, Susan. I feel bad for you having to always carry the food for special diet. Nah, it's okay. Would they accommodate your special diet requests? Absolutely, they sure do. There's a girl that I follow on Instagram who follows the Autoimmune Protocol diet as well, and she posts pictures of all of the different types of specialty dishes these chefs are able to make to accommodate all of her special dietary needs. Actually, I have two. One other girl actually lives in Orlando who follows AIP and eats at Disney really, really wonderfully. And this other one has had really good experiences at Flying Fish Cafe, also at what do they call that now? It was Cat Cora's Cucina, but it's La Trattoria Al Forno, I think is what it's called, over at the boardwalk. Really, really good. The chefs have been amazing there and make them like plantain chips just out of plantain, salt, and olive oil, like crazy. Like what other chefs anywhere would be able to do that? So yeah, there's definitely options for us, and we can always find a banana if we need to. But yeah, like we're totally used to carrying our own food everywhere, and it's just almost a comfort for us now, knowing that I have food with us at all times. So if we get hungry or whatever, we can just plop down on a bench and eat, and it's just great. So does Disney have any room on Honeymoon? So interesting story. I actually went to Disney on my honeymoon. That is where this madness happened. They do have like honeymoon suites and things like that. We stayed at the Swan and Dolphin, actually at the Swan side. And at the Swan at the time, this was in 2006, and they were actually building Il Mulino, which is a restaurant at the Swan. And so they had all this construction noise going on, and they had to like move us from the honeymoon suite there to just a regular room, but they gave us like free breakfast and stuff, and it was fine. I don't know. So, but anyway, yes, they do. Lots of people go to Disney on their honeymoon, which is kind of cool. Okay, next question. What essential oils should I bring to Disney? We are going this summer. This is my world, y'all. You know this. This is why this question was asked, I guess. If you're interested in learning specifically about oils at Disney, I actually have a class coming up on Facebook in 2 weeks. It is the Tuesday, the 26th. I have a link to that in the description below if you guys want to check out that class on Facebook. It'll be at 8 p.m. live, me chatting at you. But Cliff's Notes version of that, 3 oils specifically that I always have in my Disney park bag. I have more than this, but the ones that I absolutely will not leave my room without are Thieves, Dietary, and then the last one, it's kind of like a tie between peppermint and lavender. So Thieves, to keep me healthy, because all the people, they get millions of visitors every year touching all the things. So Thieves, health, that's the thing. Dietary for tummy comfort and motion sensitivity. And then also, I like to do peppermint, especially because you said you're going in the summer to help keep you cool. So when you put peppermint on, it's kind of like your own personal air conditioner. And in the summer, let me tell you, it is so hot at Disney. We went in July one year. I mean, it was really, I think it was like early July. It might have been late June. I had never sweat so much in my life. Now, this was pre-essential oils. I hadn't gotten into them yet, so I didn't have peppermint or know what it was, but I literally was just dripping from like when we got out of the hotel room at like 8 in the morning all day until we got back, and I was drinking so much water and it was so hot. So peppermint for sure. Put in a little spray bottle. You can spray it back your neck, inside your elbows and wrists, and it really helps to cool you down. And then lavender also, especially if you're from a place that's not necessarily southern where you don't see the sun all the time. Lavender is wonderful. I absolutely love lavender, like all the time. Okay, so let's go on. I had another question here. I'm thinking of taking my children to Disneyland next month. Awesome. I've never done a 3-day park hopper. Okay, 3-day hopper. You're going away. Hold on. Come back. There we go. Music consecutively, planning on staying at the resort. Disneyland's a little different than Disney World is, and I don't know the answer to that question. I'm so sorry. Disneyland is not my wheelhouse because I've never actually been there before. Do you have to use it consecutively, or I don't think you have to use it consecutively. I'm pretty sure you don't have to, if I'm remembering right from things that I've read. But you can get your answer for that if you check out the disboards.com. There's a Disneyland thread board in there. Ask that question there and they'll be able to answer that. I've only been to Disney World, but I've been to Disney World a lot, so I can answer any Disney World questions, just not Disneyland. That's the other side of the world from me. All right, so let's go on. Okay, what ride or attraction have you never ridden or seen but want to, if any? Okay, so there's actually a couple that I've not done yet. There's not a lot. We have yet to ride Flight of Passage at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So we had a FastPass for that when we were going to go down. When was this? This was 2 years ago. And unfortunately, because of Hurricane Irma, all of our plans got scrapped and I had to remake all of our fast passes for about a month later. So I lost that one, which was really sad. I was kind of upset. So Flight of Passage is one that is on the list. Another attraction that I've never done actually that I want to see is also at Animal Kingdom. We've never done the Finding Nemo show, and I've heard it's wonderful, so I would like to see that at some point in time. Other things I've done so far, everything at Epcot that I want to. Magic Kingdom I have as well. I haven't done Slinky Dog yet. That's the other thing. So hi Ananda, hello. I have motion sickness. Let me tell you, I am with you. How can you deal with going on fast rides when you have motion sickness and high anxiety problems? Oof, that is a good question. So, for me, it's interesting. So I can do rides that are not spinny or motion simulators. However, I can do Soarin', so that's a really good thing. But for like any kind of motion sensitivity stuff, I actually have a trifecta of 3 things that I do, because you guys know that I'm like a natural remedies kind of person. I used to take Bonine, whatever. I don't know how you say it. First I started Dramamine, then I did Bonine. For me, that worked great from a motion sensitivity standpoint. I could ride all the rides. However, it made my mood so in the dumps. It was horrible. I was grumpy. I had to take a nap in the afternoon. I just was not myself and not having a good time on those trips. So what I ended up doing is I switched all those things out. So now I actually wear C-bands. They're like little wristbands that have a pressure point nubby on them that you put on your wrist. So I wear those. I actually take a ginger capsule in the morning. It's just literally ground ginger in a capsule. And then I use an essential oil blend called Digest. And Kathy, I think you've been to an oil class, so you would know what I'm talking about. And I actually put that behind my ears right here on both sides, and I use that as needed. And for me, that trifecta has allowed me to do Tower of Terror, where it's like dropping, the roller coasters, test track, like all the things. And I could do the teacups too if we didn't spin. I didn't want to spin. So, okay, next question. Park hopper or no? For me, no. I actually don't do park hopper. We used to. It's gotten so expensive now that I actually don't think it's necessary to do park hoppers anymore. I have enough attractions that I like to do at the parks, and we like to stay put when we're there, that I don't worry about park hopper anymore. It's just not my world. Okay, so Ananda, I hope I'm saying your name right. I can tell you for a healthy digestive system, Digest is very helpful for that. Also a diet change, of course. Using Digest or digestive enzymes when you eat your biggest meal of the day, which is generally dinner time, has been very helpful for a healthy digestive system. Also, I know some people choose to avoid things like dark chocolate. Don't eat ketchup, it's full of sugar. Amen to that. There's a lot of things that are full of sugar. You got it. So things with tomatoes in it actually can aggravate that. Also dark chocolate. So, you know, and like citrus fruits and things like that. So there's a good amount of research online about all of that. But personally, I like me some Digest and some digestive enzymes, specifically called Essential Zymes 4. Those are the ones that I use. Okay, next question. What are 5 things you have to have in your park bag? 5 things. First thing is hand purifier, because touching all the things. So I have to have that. I actually bought a little keychain carrier that I dangle off of my park bag that keeps my hand purifier in it at the ready. So if we're, going through the turnstile kiosk and have to put our little finger on a thing, and I can just clean my hands that way. So that's number 1. Number 2 is my cell phone. Of course, I always have to have my cell phone. That is a very, very important thing. I love Doc Ollie. He is fantastic. Ananda, awesome. So I have to have my cell phone because, of course, you guys, right? Or Instagram stories or whatever. So have to be plugged in there. Plus the My Disney Experience app on the phone. You can totally check wait times wherever you are, which is super convenient. So I love to have that on my phone. Third thing I would say would be an umbrella, because it rains all the time and I don't like ponchos. So I'd say an umbrella. The fourth thing would be my essential oils in a little Ziploc baggie because I'm not fancy. And then the 5th thing I think would be my wallet. Because you never know when you need to get a water or a banana in the park, and having your wallet with you is very, very helpful in that regard. Okie dokie, next one. New magic band each trip or recycle the old one. Oh, Amanda. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm seeing your name wrong. Amanda, hello. So I actually like to recycle my old magic bands unless they have a new style that's like thinner or more comfortable or something. But I prefer to recycle my old ones just because I like recycling and I still have it and it works fine and it's good and I don't have to wait for my new ones to get to me. So I tend to recycle my old ones. What is your favorite Disney restaurant? This is a good question. My favorite, I think, is the Yacht Club. Yachtsman Steakhouse, sorry. Yachtsman Steakhouse at the Yacht Club. That is my favorite. They have a really, really, really good salad there where they make it with produce from the land pavilion at Epcot. So like with like the lettuce that you see that spells out Epcot or spells out like a little Mickey head or whatever. I love it. So yeah, it's my favorite. I think the Yachtsman Steakhouse is great. Before we had food allergy considerations, I would say my next 2 restaurants that are no longer on my I can eat at list, but were great at the time. La Hacienda de San Angel over at Mexico in Epcot, fabulous, as well as Il Molino at the Swan. I love those 2 also, but at this point in time, Yachtsman Steakhouse. Okay, where would you never eat again? Now, luckily, we've only had one really bad Disney dining experience, and that was over at Chefs de France at Epcot. So we, at the time, this was when we were newly diagnosed with having a gluten allergy, and we were vegetarian at the time also. And so we had a reservation, we went there, they were aware of our allergies and all the things. Oh, Donovan, yes, I'll get to that. And so when I sat down, I asked to speak to a chef, and the chef came out and asked us, what our dietary restrictions were, and he looked totally disgusted at us, like, how dare you all have these dining allergies and whatever. So he went back and he brought out, literally, and I'm not even kidding you, and I have a picture of this, and if I can find it, I will put it on my Instagram or I'll do something with it. For both of us, and it was $25 a plate. Half of a peeled boiled potato, half of a peeled boiled tomato, a plop of sauteed spinach, and a little bit of green beans. And that's what we ate for $25 each. It was great. So anyway, that was fun. Okay, the last one here, and then I'll get to Donovan's question. What fast passes would you suggest I get during the busy season at each of the parks? Whew. Y'all got good questions. Okay, so during the busy season, that basically means anytime that school is not in session, so school breaks, spring break, summer break, like winter break, that kind of thing, or over holiday weekends are generally like the busy times at Disney. So what I suggest during these busy times, and this is what we did when we went in the summertime, get to the park that you want to go to about a half hour to 45 minutes before the park opens. And my suggestion is to beeline it as soon as that park opens towards the most popular ride at that park. So let's say Magic Kingdom, for example. I personally would take a beeline, don't pass go, just go straight there to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. That's where I would go first. I would not get a fast pass for that. I would go straight there. Generally speaking, you can get on and off that ride if you go straight there first within about 20 minutes-ish. So then I would think about, okay, what rides get really hot later in the day, or really, really crowded later in the day if it's like a ride that you really want to do, the queue lines. So for me, generally speaking, if the Magic Kingdom opens at 9 o'clock on a busy day, you would want to get to the gate area 8:15-ish, somewhere around there. That way you can go straight to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and then after that, you'd still be probably pretty good, not needing fast passes for the next hour, maybe the next hour and a half. Lines start to kind of build around 10:30, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there. That's when people start arriving. So that's when I would start to make the reservations for. Starting around 11, maybe 11, 12, 1, you can make 3, and then after you use that third one, then you can start making 1 at a time. And then after you go through each one, you can just kind of keep using them at that same park. So some that would be a really good idea for later on in the day, I would say Big Thunder Mountain would be a really good one, just because that queue line gets so hot. It really, really does. I would also say Peter Pan would be another good one, just because that one gets so long for whatever reason. I have no idea. It's a continuous moving attraction, but it is just the longest wait ever, all the time. I have no idea. So that would be another one that would be a great one to do. And then maybe like just one that you really want to go on. So whether it has like a long queue line or a hot queue line or not, just to make sure that you can do it. So that one would kind of depend on your family. For me, it would be probably the Jungle Cruise or Haunted Mansion. Probably. So over at Epcot, similar kind of idea. You would want to get there at park opening and then go straight to the attraction that you want to do the most. So for us at Epcot, it would most likely be Soarin' that we would go straight for. Personally, I don't do a fast pass for Test Track, and if you've seen my vlogs, you would know why, but I'll tell you if you haven't. We do single rider on Test Track, so we can get in to like literally getting on the ride in about 10 minutes. It's really like no wait time at all. My husband and I are separated, but it's fine. Like we still get to ride it and we don't have to wait, and it doesn't matter for us. Like we're okay with it. As soon as the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster opens up, that would be where I would go first, and I would get a fast pass for Soarin', just like Marty, and like do all that. The other one would be Frozen. That would be a good one if you could get a fast pass for that, because that queue line tends to get pretty long. At Hollywood Studios, I would do Slinky Dog first. I would beeline straight to Slinky Dog. And then fast passes there, you know, you could do the Alien Swirling Saucers just because it's new and it's kind of like a novelty thing. Like that might be an option. I would say Tower of Terror would be another good option. Maybe Rock and Roller Coaster, though they have a single rider option as well, so that might be a good single rider thing and not waste a fast pass on it. At Animal Kingdom, I would beeline to Pandora and get on Flight of Passage first. Fast pass, I would definitely do Navi River Journey. That kind of gets a little long as well. Expedition Everest has a single rider option, so I wouldn't really do that. Maybe Kilimanjaro Safari, because that queue line can get really hot. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, so I missed a question. Any tips on making a long day at the park easy? Yeah, drink a lot of water. That's the first thing. I love to get to the park. Well, we have kind of two schools of thought on this. So getting to the park in the morning, doing morning touring, maybe having lunch in the park, taking a break when it's really hot out. Like the heat of the day in Florida is actually not high noon. It's closer to 4 o'clock is when it gets really hot. And that's because the pavement has like all day to bake, and then it rains. You know, it doesn't get cooler after it rains, but that kind of helps cool the pavement down a little bit. So then evening touring is a little more comfortable. So taking a midday break, I like doing. If you don't want to leave the park and go back to your hotel room, you can definitely take midday breaks within the park, doing those attractions that are indoors and more like sit down movies or shows during that kind of high heat time of the day, just time to get off your feet and that kind of thing. So like for example, at Magic Kingdom, I would plan the Tiki Room or Hall of Presidents, or maybe even the Tomorrowland Transit Authority at the Magic Kingdom, or at Disneyland. I think they have all of those at Disneyland during that middle heat part of the day, because that gives you time to get off your feet and get into air conditioning for a little bit of time. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I would really recommend, like seriously, bringing water with you. You can get free water at any of the counter service locations that have a fountain drink option. They'll give you just free cups of ice water, so just know that that is available for you. But I personally like to carry my own water with me and just like drink all the time. When I went in the middle of the summer, I literally drank 4 huge bottles of water throughout the day when we were there. So, and that's not even including the drinks that I had at meal times as well. And I just needed it. My body needed it. The other thing, superficially, I like to use my essential oils just to make me a little more comfortable as I'm doing my park touring. In the evening time, I will massage peppermint or Panaway into my legs and my shins and my knees and like that kind of thing, just because you're on your feet all day long. Really good shoes also is a really, really big must. Okay. Hi, DJ. Which restaurant should I go to? Crystal Palace or Liberty? Okay. Or a 50s. Crystal Palace and Liberty Tree Tavern, I think is what you're thinking, are both at Magic Kingdom. And 50s, wait, did I say that right? Crystal Palace and Liberty Tree Tavern are at the Magic Kingdom, and 50 Prime Time is at Hollywood Studios. It depends on your personality, in my opinion. If you like entertainment, well, I'll take that back. Well, okay. So if you like entertainment with your meal, I would say 50s Prime Time would be a very good choice, because the servers really kind of mess with you. So if you're somebody who likes to kind of like joke around a little bit and likes that kind of attention, I would go with 50s Prime Time. From what I understand, the food there is actually really good. If you want more of a character interaction, Crystal Palace is the way to go, because you've got, I think it's Winnie the Pooh there, right? And Piglet and Eeyore and all those folks. If you want just a traditional American meal, Liberty Tree is the way to go. I have heard good things about all of them. From a food quality standpoint, from what I understand, Crystal Palace is the lowest on the list, and then I would put probably 50s Prime Time right above it, and then Liberty right above that. So it all kind of depends on where you are and what your personality is. So there we go. There is something for everyone at Disney, let me tell y'all. Okay, I'm gonna see if I missed any questions. If you guys have any questions as I've gone through here, please let me know. I am super happy to answer anything that I can for you guys. You're welcome, you're welcome. I'm happy to answer anything I can for you guys. Let me see if I got through all my questions. I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, cool. All right, y'all. So that's all I have. If you have questions going forward, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. You can do that at Any Simple Life on Instagram, or you can leave me a message, little comment here on YouTube. I'm happy to answer anything I can there, or shoot me an email, anysimplelife@gmail.com. If you're interested more in learning about essential oils at Disney and why you'd want to use them and how, check out the link that is in the description of this video. I have a class coming up on Tuesday, the 26th. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. At 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook. So I am happy to answer any oil questions that you guys have at that class there. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. And I'll see you all very soon.